CTU traders, welcome on back here this Thursday afternoon, October 5th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, this time of the day, welcome on back for our afternoon meeting. Great to see Brian still with us here from just before, and perhaps a few more of us right now. Just let me know if you can hear me loud and clear inside our live trading room or across social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. We'll say I'm about 80% good to go now, just coming off a nice combination of strep and COVID. So yeah, it's been a wild week, but we're definitely looking a lot better now, feeling a lot better, and great to see Brian later, Richard, Kathleen, all giving me the green light here inside our trading room. So for right now, hey, no better place to really start off with. Markets pushing up a little bit, but with Tesla and TSLL, the Tesla ETF, just in terms of looking for a stock that can go with the market, you want something volatile and that is liquid. So there's a lot that fits that shoe. But in terms of volatility, Tesla is definitely one of the most volatile stocks across the whole market. And if you're intimidated by the price, well, a couple of options. Again, literally, you can trade the options, day trade the options, or you could trade TSLL, which is an ETF, but it's a lot cheaper. And if you have level 4, it makes it a lot more doable. So, you know what? They're not up like a bunch at all, really. They're like break even on the whole day. I don't even mind just putting both of them just on our list to begin as kind of like a spotlight stock there. I can't do that for like all the other side list stocks that we trade, but we'll check in with a few other stocks out there. Otherwise, we'll go from top to bottom here, though. We'll really just go from the gainers list here, see if there's anything looking good. Got a bunch of buyouts actually at the top, so we'll kind of just check those and skip over them really. But ORTX, you could just tell from the 10-minute chart, it is flat, and that's a buyout. Skip over some of these penny stocks too, right? I mean, another buyout, SP, right? This one is a penny stock, so to say, as we'll nickname it, but CEI is one that we're familiar with just over the many years or months. Energy stock, taking a huge hit and likely reverse stock split with that in mind over time. But, nice little push earlier today. We're not going to much focus on it, though, here. All right. Now, aside from the market squeezing back on up right now, had a couple good shorts earlier today, didn't we? We had Roblox, we had Rivian, a few of the other EV trades at first. Even Tesla dropped off nicely. Let's see what we can grab here. The PFIE. Let me switch this back to a daily. Stock had a huge run up over the last couple of weeks, few weeks here, and then just yesterday, I guess, big drop off. I don't think that we were as focused on this trade yesterday. So trying to recover now. Just I feel like at this point, it's basically more than just a little over 50% there from yesterday's drop. Got a couple icebergs here on the ask. 235, 239, even if it breaks over this one. Of course, the fact that it's at the intraday highs I like. I'll come back to this just at the end. Not fully committed to it just yet, though. I'll put this on the side list here. The PFIE. MSGM, another stock I wanted to just show because Fausto brought this up in the audio commentary. Not the move from this morning, but just kind of scanning around. And the stock made a big pop back in July, early August, you could say, but more so back from the beginning of this year. History often repeats itself. You could say that on an intraday level. You could say that on a long-term level, and they often mix well together. So here you could just look back from February, pop and drop. All right, we know it has the legs to run on the intraday, but once the volume dies off, once this begins to make lower highs, lower low, no, it's cooked. It's done. And the same is to be said back in July, August time here. Made a big push, $354 up towards $850. Hell of a move. But obviously, look at where it's at now. So, all right, Finger FNGR. It's been a pretty volatile stock of late. Really, last like a few weeks, you could just see up and down through the spin cycle this thing's been through, and even before that, back from late June, even you could say. So, yeah, popping right now, up over 8%. I just wish it had a better book, but you know what? Given the recent volatility, which we appreciate, I'll put this one on there. The Finger trade. And then TS. Oh, WeWorks. Okay, so I guess I was late to the party on this, Rich, right? I just got around between COVID and strep, the on-site from the week before. I just thought that this was like brand new. I guess WeWorks had a reverse stock split. It was last month, back in the beginning of September. It was made official, but just popped earlier. I thought it was today, but nevertheless, I mean, if this could still hold near the highs right now, just given how much it dropped off, it reminds me a bit like the AMC squeeze that we had from earlier this morning. Obviously, look at where it is now, so don't get stuck holding on to this longer than you should. But to see a stock that got crushed from a reverse stock split, never really made its bounce at that point yet. Well, you don't want to hope and wait. You don't want to hold your breath. But if you keep scanning and you see a stock up a decent chunk percentage-wise, it's making higher lows, it's setting itself up then perhaps. Now, again, I'm not referring to AMC now at this point. This trade's done. But the WeWorks, as we were on just before, it's still making a higher low. Still has a good book. It's not really trading much volume per minute right now. So there is still a little speculation behind putting this on our list. But for right now, I guess it makes the cut. All right. We had the natural gas, was it? Or is it? Yeah, it's the natural gas ETFs, right? BOIL, UNG, FRO is a stock that I know is up big, with those Frontline. This one's more flat now, though, at this point, I feel. All right. So UNG, it's a little slow. It's also flat for right now. But between that, the BOIL, I don't mind kind of just slipping both of them on our main list as well. Listen, if you're not trading BOIL or not focused on the natural gas, then just don't let it be a distraction to you. Take it off your personal list. Just keep your focus on the ones from our list so far that you like the TSLL maybe, or Finger, All right, so that's UNG and BOIL kind of together, the natural gas ETFs. Now, when those two go up, cold goes down. So doesn't mean cold's going to be a good day trade here inversely. All right, so there's FRO on the gainer side here. If there's any other oil stocks or gas stocks that are pushing up pretty nicely, folks, definitely let me know. We're pretty much near 5%, just as we're at the bottom of the gainer side. All right, so let's hop over to the losers list, see if there's anything looking good there. Oh, all right, give me a quick sec. Still slightly recovering, a little water break there, but what a loser. What a loser this stock was today. Are you kidding me? I mean, literally, figuratively as well, because how often you see a stock go from 9 down to 2 in one day, right? So the thing on this trade was obviously the way it was looking going into the market open and pre-market after the market opened up. Big pop, thing was looking incredible. Got halted a couple times on the way up. A few of us did really well on this trade. Now, I ended up jumping into this trade once it ended up re-breaking over $8. So it was a little bit after what I'll show here. So just basically this line, $8, we'll call it. And it was right there, in which this popped over 8. I jumped in expecting a higher high and expecting for this already at all-time highs, perhaps to continue up very fast. And hey, when we look at where the next level is historically, there isn't any. When we look at where the next level could be psychologically, I mean, maybe a whole number like $9, but even bigger, maybe even a decade number, 10, right? $10 maybe. This could make a phenomenal move. Well, just like we always say, it's got to make a big move shortly after. And that entails it moving off of 8 and not coming back down to 8. Whether it be in a minute after, 5 minutes after, or hell, on the same bar. So, hey, just from experience, if it's not going to even hold over 8 as it comes screaming back down, it's like, shit. Here we go. All right, pull the plug. And I ended up getting out on this trade. So it pulled back right down to 807 or 806, and I yanked it. Just Now, if it's not going to make a big move in your direction, I'd like to think it's going to make a big move the other direction. Now, I wasn't expecting for this to come back down and break lower and come all the way down at $2 today. That is the absolute worst case scenario, nightmare fuel. That if you get stuck holding on to this trade, this is the worst case scenario, right? Because if you were intimidated in selling it at $7 and taking a huge loss, then obviously where you're at now, it's unspeakable. But this goes to what we always say, at least, right? If it's not going to make that big move I'm looking for, it's going to make a big move. Do not fight it. So I ended up getting out ahead of time. It pulled back. I expected this to hit 550, but I did not expect to see this just slice right under that. And that was it even from there. So, well, if you've never seen that happen before, well, you always learn something new every day. So, consider this to be a lesson learned, hopefully a soft lesson as more of an observer. right? Just kind of sitting back here and be like, holy crap, I can't believe that ended up moving the way it did. And most importantly, I'm not a part of that, right? If you learn the hard way, please let me know. I do not bite. I get paid to help you. So, that is my job. And I'm not saying it bluntly in like to sound like a jerk. I say it because it's my job. I would get yelled at if I didn't help you here. So, folks, please let me know if there's any questions that you have on this trade, whether you're in it or not. Just shoot me over a quick email, josh@c2trading.com. All right. So with that, it has actually been a nice long day on the stick, about 3.5 hours in so far. It feels good to be back in my normal coaching seat. Got a nice full day tomorrow too, so I look forward to it. But let's see what we can grab here on our losers list now. Certainly not this. Certainly not Vino. Probably you see the same on a lot of these stocks. Market's pushing up pretty nicely, so I might not find a whole lot on the loser side outside of Rivian. Rivian dropped off nicely from the after hours yesterday, earnings, and then this morning, big move down. I think at this point it's more exhausted. So, one of my students was asking me earlier, just what are your thoughts on it? And I just simply wrote to him. I just think it's more exhausted now. And even if it bounces up a little bit, just not worth it. Traded 123 million shares nearly on the day so far. It's going to probably top off at 130. And BGS, nice little short. The stock's been getting crushed of late too. What company is this? B&G Foods? Consider me ignorant. Never heard. So, yeah, it looks like all-time lows though. Nope, stand corrected. Not all-time lows, but definitely multi-year lows, and that's as weak as we could expect heading into this afternoon. So you know what? I don't mind this at all. I'll add this to our watch list as a potential short. BGS, good spread near the lows here intraday. Ooh, FSLY. Wow, I didn't realize this was down earlier this morning too. Huh. Not as much activity from pre-market after hours yesterday, but a sneaky drop this morning. All right, here's Bed Bath Beyond. I'm kidding. It's the same inside joke every day. I always mix these up. I actually always mix them up. I've been playing it as an inside joke of late. Bed Bath Beyond, BlackBerry. Obviously, Bed Bath is no longer listed BlackBerry. So BlackBerry down big today. It's a little too slow. Little too slow for me. A little too choppy sideways. You can say the same here as the $41 stock. A little too choppy sideways here, but if it does break lower, there's a lot more room down, right? That could be a little bit more compelling. If you favor shorts, then I wouldn't be surprised if you added that to your list. All right. Does anyone still have a BlackBerry? Asks John. Good question. Last one I had was recalled. That was 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that. I think they tried making a big play into AI and the EV game, right? I'm pretty certain they had some product or launch or something in relation to the EV business for a little bit. All right. So, hey, folks, let me know if there's anything else looking good, up, down, left, right, more than 5%. But otherwise, I think that we'll call it, though. Otherwise, ooh, I might get one or two pops. Give me a quick sec from Benzinga Pro. I'm getting these here. You look at that pop. MRTX just got halted, reopened up. Let me just check the news out on this trade right now. MRTX. RTX shares trading higher amid an FDA advisory committee meeting discussing a rival drug by Amgen. That's all I got. It's got a crazy book, so I'm not really too interested in it right now. If it was trading better volume, then that's, of course, different. But at least interesting to kind of see. Now, this, I love the trend of. Okay, hello. Definitely also a pretty big spread. But I like the trend not just on the 1-minute chart, daily chart too. Things been on a rocket ship of late. Not at all-time highs, but enough for me to put this at least on our watch list, the TNGX. I just hope more eyes catch on this trade. I wouldn't be surprised if the order book actually fills in more soon. Just let it fill in. Don't just jump in right now, folks. Just let the order book fill in a bit, or let's see if we can get a pullback first and then go from there. Not bad. A couple diamonds in the rough here, right? Let's see if we can get another pop. Well, this one's on our list already, Finger. FNGR is already popping up a little bit higher right now. So, I mean, hey, we don't need to build out too big of a list at this point, but let's keep going while we're at it. This EJH is not looking too great. All right, so if we're starting to come down to stocks like this, then I think then we are at the bottom of the barrel anyway. This one's not looking terrible, up 5%. It's just trading 612,000 shares total in the day, so not a whole lot. But check out the uranium stocks while I'm at it. UEC, Quadruple U, CCJ, those have been pretty strong of late. Those have been good sideless stocks. So you want to keep those on your radar on a day-to-day basis. But they're not looking like too special right now for this afternoon. But, pre-market tomorrow, check back in with them. All right, so last one I said I was going to jump back to, the only one I had on our side list, PFIE. Why not? Why not? I mean, it's slow. It's got a couple icebergs. It's got to try and break through, but it didn't tank since we left off on it. It's still showing a little strength. Looking pretty good here for the meantime. All right, so folks, I'll tell you what, I think that we're going to call it. Got my colleague Rich coming on the mic at 3 o'clock in about 15 minutes for all of us inside the live trading room. Now, if you wanted to continue the conversation with us inside our trading room, just if you're on social media, that is, just scan that QR code on the top left of the stream. If you're fancy with your camera, fancy with your phone, get your week-long access inside our live trading room, get you all of the recorded workshops that we've done of late, including live access to our workshop next week. But, otherwise, though, if you're not as fancy with the phone, the camera, just go right down to the bottom of the stream right there, that rolling green banner. You'll see ctu.co/free right there to sign up for a free event right there. But otherwise, join us live inside our trading room. And then just for John, Leda, Richard, Cal, and Kathleen, Brian, Leda, etc., I'll be in the chat board up until 3:30. So if there's anything looking good, I'll be there to call it out alongside Rich and hopefully you as well, right? If you see something, say something. Let's try and make some money here heading into this Thursday close. Talk to you all soon.